Once the opportunity arose for him to close the show, he did it in emphatic style.
Whatever he hits falls.
You've got 4 50-50 fights on TV. Well, maybe not, Sonny's one, but I think the other 3 are 50-50 fights, and what makes Sonny's fight so enthralling is what he's potentially got on the horizon for him after this one, and also the fact he's dropping down to flyweight to show us all what he can do at a smaller weight. It's a great card. You've got some fantastic fighters on the undercard: Harvey Horn, Keeman Agyarko in 8 rounders. Good to see Umar Sadiq back in there again. Trying to get some recognition back after his fight with Zach Chelli. So, yeah, I think to answer your question, Steve, in a very long-winded way, it's a great show, great card, and yeah, probably one of the best, if not the best show that they put on at York Hall.
Seeing you, a lot of arena shows you've been putting on lately, but it shows that boxing is very much in your blood, isn't it? But going back to York Hall.
It's very important to make sure that these, you call them small hall shows, and I think it does a disrespect to York Hall. I think York Hall is it's not a small ball, it's a cauldron, and I think it generates an atmosphere like no other event can do. When you've got sort of 1,200-1,500 people in and around you, but I'm sure the fighters will tell you better than I can that when you do fight at York Hall, the fans are on top of you, the noise is on top of you. It's a passionate, partisan crowd that you can't beat.
You sold it pretty well. Are there any tickets left, Francis?
None. So you can only watch it on BT Sport if you haven't got a ticket.
None at all?
None.
So if I went on to Ticketmaster,
we don't do secondary markets, Steve, so it's all done. All done.
Well, that tells you enough you need to know about this card. And there's 2 magnificent light heavyweight fights. The first televised fight is between Deck Spellman, the English light heavyweight champion, who's right on the right wing there, and he faces Spelman-Pitters, who's about 6'6". First defence of Deck's English light heavyweight title. So we'll start with asking the champion a question. It's been a hard 18 months for you, Deck, since the Scott Westgarth tragedy. How have you got to this stage and got that out of your mind to fight and give you all in the ring and win a title?
Yeah, I think it's what happened in that fight. I've had the family backing me, but that's behind me now. It's got to go to the back of my head, and I've shown since that fight. I've come back. I've won the English and the Ultimate Boxing, and that got me got my name out there. But yeah, we won the English, and we're here today.
And what was it like that night beating Kurt Garvey, especially as some of Scott's family, I believe, were ringside supporting you?
Yeah, we had Adam, Scott's brother, and he came in at the end when we got the belt. It was a great night, but that's behind me now, and we're down to business now.
And what does it say about you also that you're willing to take on Shakon, who beat you, albeit in a 3-round tournament, in your very first defence?
Yeah, it's the fight I wanted, and I think it's the fight he deserved. And when we were trying to chase that English, I'm glad, so it's quite grateful that I've given an opportunity, and I think it's a fight. I think it's a great fight, and I want to be in big fights, so we're here.
Bit refreshing for a boxer to say I've given someone what they deserve.
It's only right.
And what was it like you fighting Scunthorpe for that Kurt Garvey fight?
Yeah, it was electric. There's a few videos flying about. It was absolutely electric, and to win in my hometown as well. It's great, and it's coming to a platform like this.
And looking forward to another electric atmosphere on BT Sport this weekend.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Shakon, for the moment you signed for this fight, you said the ultimate boxer win over Deck counts for nothing. But can you take anything from that fight at all?
I mean, we shared around the ring for 3 rounds. It was a brief thing. Obviously, the actual event and everything was different. Of course, now Deck's going to be fresher, I'm going to be fresher. It's longer rounds. So for me, that's behind me. I believe it's been almost a year now since that happened. So as a fighter myself, I'm always improving. And I'd look at it just to think the same, that I'm sure he feels that he's improving as well.
And your thoughts on Deck as a boxer and fighter?
Brilliant person, inside and out the ring. I've got nothing bad to say about him and his team. Carl Greaves, obviously very respectful in boxing. I'm grateful for the opportunity, because I do believe it's something where they could have, for a first defence, you could have chose someone else to have an easier defence or so on. But I'm grateful for the opportunity. Like I said, it shows the tenacity of him and his team. They're willing to, try and attempt to put things straight themselves there, and it's going to be a brilliant fight for myself, Deck, and obviously the fans.
You stepped down from cruiserweight before the Ultimate Boxer, but you still haven't done 12 stone 7, haven't been over 6 rounds. What's it been like making the weight, especially when you're 6'6"? You're huge for the weight.
I have made 12 stone 7 in my previous fight. It's something where, with opponent changes and so on, it then allowed me, my coach and my team to put on more weight. So I have made it. Even now, I made it in the gym in our check weighing. So I'm already on weight right now. So if you want to, any cheeseburgers, then I can eat that right now.
I looked at your previous weight. Was it one of those where the 200-pound cruiserweights were just a little bit too big for you?
No, well, we just assessed everything. We just, we found the weight that we were stronger at. I believe since I've come down from light heavyweight, I've knocked down and knocked out every opponent. And I've proven that just in the Ultimate Boxing, in my fights when I have fought, even that light heavy. And I just thought that I'd bring my power down from cruiserweight. So it's something where I'm more effective being 6'6" and also carrying my power down. So, I'm very dangerous at that weight.
And your prediction for Saturday?
Definitely going to get a win, whether it's 10 rounds or less, I don't know, but I'll get the win.
Thanks very much. Our second light heavyweight fight is a British title eliminator for the championship held by Joshua Buick. The winner of Spelman and Pitters might even fancy defending against the winner if there's no British title fight straight away. Between Zach Chelli, who's on my right here, who's moving up from super middleweight, and Chelli-Davies, who's 9-0. Zach, we'll start with you. It's only your 8th fight, but you don't turn anybody down. You've already beaten Omar Sadiq, Jimmy Smith. You're a young man to be taking these sort of fights.
Yeah, I believe I'm ready for the fight, and if I'm ready for the fight, I'm training hard. I go for the fight. I believe if I can win, I know I can win, so that's why I'm going for it.
And you're moving up to light heavyweight. Will that be your weight now?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm growing into it. I'm only 21, so filling out, and I feel more stronger and fitter this weight, so that's the way I'm going to be.
So if you grow into what you're going to be looking like in 2-3 years?
You never know.
How does Cody compare to Umar and Jimmy?
Of course, Cody, he's got the GP pedigree. He's a southpaw, unlike the other two. But that's all I can say.
Until you find out on the night.
I mean, that's what I've seen. The only thing is different is that he's got the GB pedigree and he's a southpaw. That's it.
You finished university now and graduated?
1 more year left. So luckily, I've had a 2-month training camp without uni disturbing me, and I'll be after this fight and go back to uni.
What, straight there on Monday?
Not on Monday. Got 2 weeks to find accommodation, and I'm back there.
Can't you live with your dad anymore? Has he thrown you out?
No, it's in Surrey, so I got to travel. So might as well stay at uni campus.
And your prediction for this weekend?
A spectacular win for Zach Chelli.
So that's going to be inside the distance, is it?
You never know.
Cody, Zach obviously confident. How are you for this weekend?
Yeah, good. Firstly, I want to thank God. I believe without God, none of this would be possible for me. Secondly, I'm happy that he's confident. A good, confident fighter is going to bring out the best in me. And I'm looking forward to Saturday night.
You had a good performance last time against Harry Matthews in Leeds, won that comfortably. I think you floored him late in the fight. How much better is Zach, though, than that sort of level?
Yeah, obviously, this is a step up for me, obviously. I'm relishing the challenge. I believe that all my previous fights I've won on all the pilot. You know, is a business. Boxing is a business. You need these wins at the start of your career. I've been very hungry for a step up fight. We asked for the fight at super middle. Zach Chelli didn't want it super middle. He wanted to go to light heavyweight. It's no problem. We stepped up to light heavyweight, and we're looking forward to train hard and having the best shape of my career, physically and mentally. And I'm ready for Saturday.
Are you going to stay at light heavyweight after this fight?
We will see what the future holds.
I mean, there's some good options there for the winner of this fight. Anthony Yard's coming back. Lyndon Arthur's fighting for the Commonwealth title.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's great opportunities at both weight divisions. I can make super middle with ease. I make light heavyweight at ease. So the ball's in my court with that one. I'm just going to pick and choose and start my campaign wherever I feel.
You say you're going to pick and choose. If you could pick any opponent next, who would it be then after Zach?
I don't really care. I'm not concerned about opponents. I'm concerned about titles and fights, meaningful fights. I don't want to fight people with losing records. I want challenges. I want to challenge myself, test myself, and go on to win titles and become world champions. That's what I'm here for. That's why we all sat at this table, is to become world champions.
Thanks very much. Perhaps the fight that's the most 50-50 out of everything on the card is the British and Commonwealth super bantamweight title between Brad Foster, who's on my right there next to Sonny Edwards, and Lucien Reid, who's at the end of the table there. I think it's Brad's second British title defence, first Commonwealth title defence. And Brad, you had a staggering kickboxing background. Was it 4 weights, 9 world titles?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, how have you made the transition to conventional boxing, shall we say, without an amateur fight, and to achieve this in 12 professional fights?
It's quite mad, to be fair, if you think about it, but I just work hard and I believe in myself. That's all it comes down to, really.
What made you turn to boxing instead of after kickboxing?
Well, I think boxing's the best in it. There's more money in boxing, and boxing is the top in it. So yeah, there's no money in kickboxing. What's the point staying?
Imagine being a 4-weight world champion, 9 titles in boxing, eh?
I know, yeah.
Your last 3 fights, Liam Gower, Josh Wow, and Ash Lane. You've got better in each one. How much more improvement is there to come from you?
I think there's loads. As I said, I'm only young. I'm still maturing. I'm only 21. So the goal is to keep learning every fight, keep getting better, keep winning.
What was your favourite win out of the 3?
I'd say the Leon Gower fight was one, yeah. And then obviously the Josh Well picking up the British title. But they're all good wins, isn't they?
Why was the Leon fight? It was local bragging rights.
Yeah, on that, and I think that was my first 50-50 fight. That's when that's the type of fights I want, 50-50 ones, because then it'll bring the best out of me.
And Lucien, your thoughts on Lucien Reid?
He's a good fighter. He's got skills himself, so it's going to be a good fight.
Your fights tends to go long. Are you expecting that this time? Another?
I've prepared for a 12-round fight. Whatever happens. But I see myself winning.
Just notice leading the buyers, you come from Lichfield. You ever see Bunsey about or hear him?
Yeah, I always see him.
Yeah. You hear him, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he goes to a pub called the Duke of York, and he's always in there.
So he goes in there and holds court, does he?
Yeah, that's his little hangout.
He's never told us that before. Lucien, Brad had no amateur background. You know, whereas you was our ABA champion, was it 2013 or 14, was it?
2014 finalist.
Yeah, and regular England international.
Yep.
How important will that be in this fight?
I think it will play a massive role because I boxed everyone and anyone, every style possible, big, small, strong, weak. I think once I get in there, once after the first round I see how he is, I feel like I'm going to take him apart.
What have you seen that makes you think you're going to take Brad apart?
You know what, he's a great fighter, he's a great champion. I just feel like once a bit of movement and once a bit of amateur pedigree comes into play, I think the later rounds you'll see me come on top.
I think it's only your 10th fight, but you're on your 3rd trainer now after Peter Sims, Adam Booth, and now Alan Smith.
Yep.
How have you settled with the iBox boys?
Honestly, it's the best move I've ever made. I wish I'd moved for my pro debut because I've learned so much within the 2 months I've been with Al. He's probably one of the best trainers I've seen, so I'm glad I've moved.
And a lot of the boxers there would suit your style, I guess, wouldn't they?
Oh, 1,000,000%. We're all flashy. We're all the same. I mean, you know what? There's a lot of talented fighters in that gym, so it's great to be able to train amongst them.
One who isn't the flashiest is a welterweight, Johnny Garton. What are you doing sparring with him?
Honestly, listen, Brad's big, Johnny's bigger, so once I get in there, you'll see that.
He comes up with some mad spars, don't you, Alan? Have you got Dennis McCann? You must spar with him as well.
Yeah, of course. Dennis is a very slick look southpaw, very fast, very strong. So he's a great sparring. Could obviously he switches as well. So I've done everything. I've made sure I'm prepared properly.
You're confident? Have you got a round prediction for this weekend?
1,000,000%. I'm confident. No round prediction. I'm not that sort of person. I'll try to be respectful as possible. But it's a Lucien Reid win, no matter what.
Thanks very much, Lucien. Top of the bill. On my right here, I'm sure everybody knows Sonny Edwards. He's fighting Edwards-Guarneros, vacant IBF and WBO international flyweight titles. I think we'll start with you, Sonny. It's your first fight at flyweight. Is this your weight now?
Firstly, I just want to say a thanks to all the fighters on this table. I genuinely believe from the bottom of my heart that there's 4 potential headlines here right now. I didn't find out I was headlining until the poster came out, and obviously it's a buzz to be, but genuinely the Reid Foster fight would have been my pick. If not, Chelli and Davies. That's a great fight that I was looking forward to when it was first talked about on Twitter and whatnot. But yeah, for now, for me, flyweight, I feel like even though I've been levels above the fighters I've been fighting and the caliber of fighters I've been fighting, physical strength-wise, they've been stronger than me in there. Gallardo, I could not keep off me, and I don't know if it's a Mexican thing or what, but when I was trying to tie him up inside, it was very, very difficult. So I blamed the weight and moved down. But Sam liked that one. But no, in all seriousness, it's just, I think it's obvious for everyone. You know what I mean, I'm quite fleshy for flyweight still. I make the weight fairly easy. Super flyweight was a walk in the park. You know, anyone that gets up and has like 2 breakfasts in the morning before weighing, that something's wrong. But yeah, we're looking now at world honours. I believe, you know, leave it to the man to the left of me and Uncle Frank as well as MTK to, you know, push me and get me the right fights at the right times. And all these fights, you know, Guarneros, Granados, Gallardo, they all sound related, don't they? But all these fights, they're putting me in the, you know, in the right position. So when I do step up, you know what I mean, there's not too much that can shock me. Obviously, I'm not trying to sell to no one that these are genuine world level competitors. Obviously, we'll see how good Guarneros is on Saturday. Obviously, I'm expecting a dangerous opponent. He's come over to win. He's been giving me stick on Twitter in Spanish for the last 3 weeks. But yeah, he's going to give it to me properly now. But no, there's a lot of respect there. You know, he's come over. He's never left Mexico before, so this is his. Well, as a fighter, never left Mexico. So this is his big opportunity. So I'm expecting him to try and absolutely take my head off. So, but yeah, with your first question, yeah, flyweight is where I do want to be for now.
With just to get you win this on Saturday, you'll get a ranking with the IBF, WBO, the IBF champion is Murati Malay, WBO title holder is Tanaka, Japanese boxer. Who would you prefer out of the two, and what do you think of those both?
Well, I do genuinely believe that Tanaka is arguably one of the best at the weight now. Murati has had a very, very good career. You know, he hasn't been beaten in 10 years. He's beaten the likes of Casemiro, Tete in back-to-back fights, stopped them both. So, but he's, I think, 36, 37, he's getting on. So really, probably Murati is the one that people want to get hold of at this moment. So obviously, if I get a good IBF ranking, that might push me closer. But a lot of people don't know this. Me and Murati are actually friends. Really? We was over in Ukraine together for three weeks, sparring the WBA world champion, and we spent a lot of time. And he's actually a lovely bloke. So, you know what I mean, if he moved on before, that wouldn't be a bad thing either. But these fights aren't happening at domestic level. I do want the British fighters still to this day, but that's not happening. And now I'm in a position with, you know, with BT, with my promoter, with my management, that every 8 to 10 weeks I seem to be fighting. I'm creeping up the cards. I'm on bigger cards and bigger fights, bigger rankings, bigger titles. So I can't complain. I'm possibly the most active championship fighter in Britain right now. You know, 5 TV title fights in 11 months. So, like I said, who can I complain? And at a flyweight, to be headlining a show of this quality and caliber, then, you know what I mean, I'm in a good place.
As you say, there's no interest from domestic fighters, it seems.
There is on social media. There's a lot of
On
interest.
social media, yeah.
You know, when we put the phone calls in, they don't seem to get replied.
Do you know what? I think I can only take that as a compliment, because what I do feel like, I don't think any of these fighters are like scared to fight Sonny Edwards. I don't for a second. You know what I mean? I'm not the biggest puncher, so I doubt I'm going to end their careers in that fight. However, what I can do to them mentally, I can break them down and make them look silly and give people the impression that they're quite useless. Like, look at Ryan Farag. Look what I've done to him. He's fought a 6-rounder in the last 12 months. So I think they just don't want to go down that route. But it's a compliment that they're waiting for me to get to world level before they start putting their hand up. Because that means they must think I'm a world level fighter at the end of the day. I mean, I would fight any of them for a British title, because if you're mentioning people like Tommy Frank, etc., I don't believe they're going to get to world level. So there's no point waiting to meet them there. They're not going to get there. So
have you given up hope of the British title then now?
No, I think, do you know what I mean? I'm only 23. I've got a long career ahead of me. Maybe within the next 12 months, maybe in the next 5, 10 years, maybe after I've got to world level, got beaten and I'm on the slide, and then maybe I'll get a British title. I don't know. But it'll never be short for one of trying. I think we've been put in for it about 15 times now, and the board only finally listened to us when they mandated Tommy Frank, and obviously he pulled. So now I'm down to flyweight. There's obviously Andrew Selby, there's the champion. I don't know what his desires, what his goals are. I know he's fighting the night before me over in Dubai, but I feel like he's pushing for world honours, which is fine by me. I mean, hope he does well. But like I said, if I don't get no meaningful British title fights, then I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, staying busy, and eventually get to the world shot.
Francis, provided Sonny wins this weekend, what do you see the immediate plans for in the next 6 to 9 months?
Well, I think obviously we've got to keep building his world rankings. You know, this will be the second weight that he'll be in, both the WBO and the IBF. So whilst the British title would be great, another great addition to Sonny's ever expanding belt collection. We can't just sit around waiting for people to take up the challenge. We want to develop Sonny's career as we have been doing over the past couple of years. I think we're doing a fantastic job. And we get, as I said, the rankings that he's getting and the belts he's picking up mean that everyone's doing their job properly, especially this man to my right, because he's headlining a show on BT Sport as a flyweight, and not because for any other reason. And he's super exciting, brings it every single time he fights. People want to watch him, and everyone talks about him afterwards. So for me, we're going to keep going down the road we're going down. And if a world title fight comes up at the right time that we'll feel is I don't want to say it, don't want to gimme, is a winnable fight, then we'll take it. But until that point, we're going to keep learning, and we're going to keep making sure that Sonny's in the best possible position to challenge for a world title and win it, and then keep it. It's not just about winning it.
Thanks. The man trying to stop him winning a world title is Hugo. Sonny has said just here a second ago that you've been chasing him on Twitter over the last few weeks. What's been said? Sonny has said
very good job, isn't he?
On Twitter. What's he been saying to him?
Ok, primero que nada, muy buenas tardes. Muchas gracias por permitirme estar aquí con todos los medios de comunicación en Inglaterra. Al promotor, a Sonny Edwards, a mi rival, por aceptar pelear conmigo.
First of all, thank you very much to everybody to be here, to the media, and for the invitation of the organization for this international title.
Y bueno, yo he visto en Twitter que sus jabs de Sonny Edwards van dirigidos a mí. Y yo le quiero contestar algo. Ya lo dijo. Ahora veamos de qué lado se inclina la balanza. Él dice que se ha enfrentado a...
He said that he read the Twitter of Sonny Edwards, and now he is going to answer personally.
Bueno, aquí no vamos a adelantarnos, como él dice, que quiere enfrentarse y derrotar a los que siguen y a los que siguen. Él habló de los mexicanos, que ya sí es un nombre. Sí tiene nombre, pero no has enfrentado a cualquier mexicano. Yo quiero que te prepares para Edwards-Guarneros el sábado 14.
Hugo says, okay, he's speaking about the future, he's speaking about another Mexican, but really he must prepare for Saturday night to be in front of Hugo the Killer Guarnero.
Esta pelea va a ser muy emocionante, una pelea donde nos esperan muchas cosas, no voy a descartar absolutamente nada. Vengo bien preparado. Sonny, no te has enfrentado a cualquier mexicano. Yo, el 14 de septiembre, sábado por la noche, Edwards-Guarneros lo vas a estar escuchando. Me gusta mucho quitar invictos. Te encargo.
Hugo said that Saturday night Sonny Edwards will hear to Hugo. And one of the specialities of Hugo is to win to the person that never defeat a match. So the 12-0 of Sonny Edwards will change Saturday night.
Sonny, you got anything to say? Confident opponent, yeah?
Oh, third time lucky for the Mexicans, I guess.
You say you are ready, Real representative for team, you say this.
Yeah, I'm ready. I mean, I haven't been training for the last 14 years, the last 8 weeks. You know, to let anyone come and beat me, and I respect that he's got a bit of fire in his belly. I think he got lost in translation a bit, you know, sort of passion in his voice, but he seems like he's up for it. I've watched clips and he's a dangerous fighter, so I know I'm getting in with. But yeah, it's my show, it's my country, they're my titles already, and it's going to be a long flight back to Mexico.
Once the opportunity arose for him to close the show, he did it in emphatic style.
Whatever he hits falls.